Like,
Yep.
that's what I tell those women. I'm like, that's not feminism. Well, no, that I'm a feminist. No, you're not. You can call yourself that, but you're not doing it. You can call yourself a Catholic, but if you don't practice Catholic stuff, you're not Catholic. You know, you can call yourself anything, but that doesn't make you like
Well, the thing
that.
with feminism mostly for me is if we're talking about like rights in like Middle Eastern countries, like I myself am Middle Eastern, so I kind of experience with that, and like
Mhm.
women over there, like they still really
Yeah.
need feminism over there. They really do. But then if you go over to like the first world country stuff and like the West and stuff, then all of it in comparison just seems really petty. Like it all
It
just seems so.
does.
I don't know. Like if
I
feminism should focus on other things now.
There's still a lot of work to be done. I just hate people who use it as an excuse to do bad. Like that girl, like, oh, like she was being an ass to you and then she's going to turn it around. No, you were just being an ass. We're not talking about anything to do with, you know, you
Yeah,
being misogynistic and stuff. Like that has nothing to do with it. You weren't, and she's just stupid.
yeah, no,
Like,
but like
don't change
that's the
the
thing.
subject.
But that's the
you
same
know?
thing. People just manipulate what they have. Like, for example, if she was black and then she went to me like, "Oh, did you only do this because you're racist?" I mean, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not an automatic
You can't
defense.
pull. You
Hmm.
don't get, it's not an excuse to be a bad person. Like, but that's not, and no one has an excuse to be a bad person. You just don't be a bad person. And when someone calls you out on it, you need to stop and look at yourself and not start, if you start insulting them or trying to make them feel guilty, that just screams volumes about that person. And anyone who has a brain in their head will see that, you know.
Yeah.
Are
Also,
we
it kind
recording?
of.
Hello, my two guests. Thank you so much for joining me on the third episode of Schrodinger's Chats. I have with me Laz Hatchery, and Retum. How are you guys doing?
We're
uh,
good.
yeah. Well, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for coming. We were actually just having a super, super a very interesting conversation. Oh man, sorry, I'm.
It's fine.
It's okay. I know how it goes. I
Yeah,
have
oh man, I usually prepare a bit for these things.
I find I do a podcast on my channel and we can have anywhere between like 5 to like 8 people, and it's nuts how everyone talks and visits. And the moment you try to do a podcast, everyone just gets really quiet and shy and no one has any thoughts in their head whatsoever. It's so awkward.
Yeah,
Ev-
this is gonna
Everyone's
be fun
like,
to edit.
everyone's like, "Am I being recorded?" Like,
we've
just completely
we've
false
even
silence.
we've even talked about, setting up recording stuff and not telling each like me not telling them when we're going to be recording, because that's the best conversations happen when the recording stuff's off, of course.
Yeah, when people don't know it's being recorded.
I think
Uh,
it's a bit like doing commentary, really, because like when I started off doing commentary and like gameplay videos, I even had like a small little script because otherwise I would like completely forget it. But if I don't actually make videos, I just kind of do it in my head, and then it goes way smoother when you're actually just telling stuff about the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, I agree. Yeah, when I first started, I started with Ori and the Blind Forest, and so the main reason I started with that game was specifically because I thought it was gonna be an easy game, and I thought it was gonna be a game where I could really focus on my commentary, so I could slowly wean myself off of a script, slowly wean myself off of things I wanted to talk about and say. And that game turned out to be insanely difficult. So that was a fun learning curve for me. But yeah, just like you, I eventually started just feeling more and more comfortable. I
Hmm.
think podcast though, because now you're live interacting with other people, it's a bit different. But I feel good now. I have my
Yeah.
water.
What Speaking of like first games that you play, when I relaunched my channel, I knew I wanted to do horror games, and so I had purchased Alien Isolation like a year and a half before. I had no idea how long that game is. I expected to make like 8 or 9 episodes, and I think it ran for like 18 episodes.
Oh
That
wow.
game is like 10 hours long.
Oh, that's really long. Yeah, I thought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd be so long either. It seems like it'd just be a few hours, a few cool scares, some psychological horror, and then you're done. Everyone's dead or something.
It was a big bite to take off for my first horror game. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have researched it, but I like to jump in
Yep.
without like prior knowledge.
Yeah, just do a blind playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. That's what happened to me in Child of Light. I haven't actually finished that game because it wasn't getting as many views compared to other series. But yeah, that game is a lot longer than I thought it was. Really good game though. I'm probably gonna finish it one of these days.
What I'm wondering though is when it comes to horror games, right? What kind of horror games do you rather have? For example, there's horror games with like jump scares in them and like a ton of them, and some people enjoy that. There's also other games like, for example, the Silent Hill series that rely less on jump scares, but more on the fact that psychological horror, like creating creepy environments and just
Yeah,
making you feel
atmospheric
uncomfortable
horror.
throughout. Yeah,
That's my kind of horror.
I just played a game. I just like a couple hours ago recorded Gone Home, which is actually just an adventure game, but it kind of sets you up thinking it's going to be a horror game. And I was so on edge the whole time. And it turns out it's not a horror game at all. Nothing to do with horror, no jump scares. But I felt like I was gonna pee my pants. I was so scared. I was clutching the controller and shaking, and I would open a door and I would close my eyes. I was so scared. And it turns out there was nothing to be afraid of. So those are the games, like there's games that have those elements, those really simple elements like noises and just like little movements and stuff that make you feel scared. Those are the games that get to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Those are the ones that leave
definitely.
impressions on me.
I have you guys ever heard of Angry Joe? He's a YouTuber.
yeah, he does reviews and stuff, right? I've
Yeah,
heard of him.
exactly. He does reviews, and he recently did a review on a horror Oculus Rift game. I think it was called Dread Halls or Dead Halls, and he was talking about how with the Oculus Rift, with virtual reality gaming, the level of horror that you experience is so much more focused, so much more powerful because it's such a sensory overload where you have your ears are covered, your eyes are with the big goggle thing, and
Yeah.
you have no idea what to expect because you're looking around, you're physically looking around, and there are things that jump out at you. And oh
Honestly,
man,
like
God.
I always said, like, oh, horror games. I mean, like if it becomes too much for you, you can always just tab out of the game.
Mhm.
But with VR though, like I can actually see people like panicking and then I don't know, like losing their mind over the fact that everything around them is super scary now.
I've
Yeah.
I've heard of cases with the Oculus Rift with people getting like physically sick, like throwing up. And I know like a lot of YouTubers, I've watched people. I was so intrigued when it came out, the idea of, wearing the game device like right on your face. And I've seen a lot of people who have had to pause or just stop playing altogether because it was so overwhelming and they just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And that kind of like makes me want to play it more.
Yeah, I have a huge fear of heights. When I was a kid, I was climbing on
Oh.
jungle gym and I just fell off.
Oh.
So that wasn't fun. So yeah, major fear of heights. It got a bit better when I went to Cégep, which I'm willing to bet most people who watch this won't know. Cégep, it's a unique thing in Quebec, Canada. It's a 2-year in between high school and university. It's like pre-university. Anyway, so I had a gym class there. We did rock climbing, so that helped a bit. Still scared. Still scared. So if I were to do like a roller coaster Oculus Rift game, just thinking about it.
Honestly, I thought VR was like when it first came to light, and then people were like making games for it. I was like, oh yeah, it's nice, but it's just a gimmick. It's like motion controlled games, kind of
Yeah.
like the Kinect and stuff. And I was like, it's not really going anywhere. That's what I thought. But nowadays, I mean, like if you look at the Steam front page, for example, it's like filled with VR and stuff. So, apparently I've been proven wrong. They're actually going pretty mainstream.
It's crazy the stuff that takes off, like just in the gaming, community. Like there's a lot of stuff that's come out that I've been like, that's not gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest, like
Steam controller.
When Minecraft first came out, I was like, what the hell? Like that looks like the dumbest thing ever. Who the hell's gonna play that? And now it's like the most popular thing.
Yeah.
Everyone makes videos of it. I make videos of it. I'd be a hypocrite if I said I didn't about it.
I'm actually like planning on making videos for Minecraft, but the thing is, and this is gonna sound a bit condescending, but I don't really mean it in that way. It's that Minecraft really has a specific audience, and you get like a specific kind of demographic when you play those games on your channel.
Younger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the younger generations. But like
Exactly.
that's the people you want. Those are the people who have more time to watch your videos. They're the ones who are a lot more impressionable. I'm not saying that young people are like they have more time on their hands than adults do, and they like to be on YouTube. I mean, I watched way more YouTube when I was younger than I do now. And I mean, I'm making videos now. That's probably because I put all my time to actually making stuff. But back then, I was learning and I was watching, other people play, and I was getting inspired to do what I do now.
That's
So
an
I feel like
interesting. Sorry, yeah, finish.
No, it's okay. I feel like even just the three of us, like we inspire people with our stuff. I've even had people tell me, like, oh, I really want to get into making videos. So I feel like we all kind of, have an impact.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, I was just curious. You mentioned that you watched people and you were inspired. Who were you watching when you were younger?
I used to watch pretty much everyone, and honestly, I wasn't really big into gaming videos until I came across Rooster Teeth
Oh,
and the Achievement Hunters. I was a huge, huge fan. I watched all of their stuff. I really actually like their Rooster Teeth does like sketches, and their sketch comedy was my favorite. And then I started watching Achievement Hunter, and I just loved it. I loved every second of it. I thought I would fall into watching, these hour-long Let's Play videos, and I would have never done that. But I realized while I was watching them, it wasn't really like, oh, I really want the next episode. I realized I wanted to do that. Like I
hmm.
wanted to play it. And then PewDiePie got big, and Markiplier got big, and I would watch them play, and it wasn't even like oh my god, I love these guys. It was more like I'm so jealous. I want to do that. How do you do that? What do you need to, So I started doing the research, and that's how I came to be.
When did you get started? Because you mentioned this is your second channel.
This is my original channel. A friend of mine, actually, my friend, had come up with the idea that we make videos back in like May of 2014. And so we were making videos from May until October of that year, but she kind of wasn't really pulling her own weight. And I was doing everything. I was making the videos, I was advertising, and then she would just come over and like talk and stuff. And it got, it wasn't fun for me anymore because she was kind of benefiting, and she wanted to be in control about a lot of stuff. And I wanted to, it's not that I wanted to take over. I wanted it to be like a joint effort, and it really wasn't. So I stopped making videos for almost over a year. I just quit. I gave up on it. And then November of 2015, so just last year, I started posting again. I had completely rebranded myself. So instead of being the duo, I decided to do a single kind of player, show.
Yeah.
I was the only host, and I got a brand new outro. I paid for new art. I've got all these amazing, talented friends who do artwork, who inspired me and helped me kind of encouraged me to do it on my own. And I started posting in November, and it's doing better than it was doing when I was working with my friend. It's nice to be able to, like, I can work with friends and everything, but it still is mine, and I still make the decisions for it. I don't have
Yeah.
to, communicate with someone else. It's nice.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
agree.
basically like you're still 100% in control, and then because of that, you know exactly what you want, and then you also produce more content because you're more clear on your goals.
Right, exactly, exactly. We kind of were falling out just as friends. That's a whole nother story that probably shouldn't be on the podcast. But we kind of went our separate ways, and I realized when I was doing it that YouTube wasn't fun anymore. And when I picked it back up, it has been a blast. I'm loving every second of it. I have a bunch of my friends who join me in different series and stuff. I can do stuff on my own, but it's still me. Like it's still my hard work that's showing through. So I hope that doesn't sound selfish. I
No,
want
not
it.
at all.
Oh,
I love what I do and everything, and I finally got it organized. Also, it's good for me. I guess I would say it's hard
Yeah.
to
that
put
makes
into
sense.
words.
How about you, Redham? How did you get started?
Well, one of the few channels that really inspired me was Many a True Nerd. And that guy, he does like he's not super popular or anything. He has like less than 2,000 subs at this point, or not 2,000, 200,000. My bad. And
Oh yeah.
what he did was challenge runs.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'll play like Fallout 3 without any healing, and if I die, then that's it,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And after a certain while, after watching him and a few other YouTubers, I was like, I can do that. Like, it's not that hard. And you know what? I'll one up them. I'll show them how it's done. And then I was like, and I kind of wanted to at the same time, of course, not like be like, like I did it, but I kind of wanted to show like how I can challenge myself. And then if other people enjoy it, then that's fine. But I mean, mainly did it just because I wanted to challenge myself and make videos. And I never really thought about how many viewers I'd get. It's just like, for example, I didn't really do much advertising. I still don't really. It's mainly that other people find out and then they post it, and they post it on Reddit and stuff, and that's actually how I got my first batch of subscribers. But it's mainly just because I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to go like, for example, my first actual Let's Play was a Fallout 4 on the highest difficulty with no weapons and no armor, and I completed that recently. And it was really hard, but one thing that really motivated me to continue was the fact that many people were rooting for me. Like at the first few episodes, there was almost no one actually watching. But then when that guy posted on Reddit, and then I got more people and stuff, then every single episode they were like, "Wow, great episode! I can't wait to see what else you're going to do." That was a really tough fight. I especially loved the part at this and that, and then that really motivated me to continue on. And it was really humbling to see that people wanted more of my content. So in the beginning, it was more of like I just want to challenge myself, but the further I go on and the more people actually watch me, it's more like, okay, now I'm also doing it for them, and I also want more viewers and stuff like that.
That's such a great feeling, and yeah, congrats on the extra. What was it, 15 subs from your Dark Souls 3 videos?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh
20,
man,
yeah,
yeah.
15.
How are you liking the game so far?
Awesome.
It's really good, except I've seen very little of it, and a lot of it is the same because I immediately started off doing a no weapons and no armor run of it. So I'm basically just like a naked dude running through the game and trying to beat the bosses.
You must be a veteran of the series then, eh?
Yes, 1 and 2 I played a lot, but still, I mean, like it really isn't easy. And the thing that annoyed me the most, well, I kind of got over it. I always just have a little bit of a go with the flow personality. So like I recorded like 5 hours of me trying to beat the tutorial boss because it was that hard with no weapons and no armor. And then I finally beat him, and I was like ecstatic. I was like so happy. Then I looked at my recording, and apparently it all messed up, like somewhere through the 4-hour mark already.
Oh man.
So I was like, ah, damn. Wait a second. I already did it once, though. I'm sure I can do it again. And then I started recording again, and then after 2 tries, I immediately beat him the first try. So I was really
Nice.
happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like we've all had those kinds of incidents where we record and something goes wrong. I had 3 episodes of Rise of the Tomb Raider that had no game audio because
Oh,
I muted the audio recording from OBS because I was recording mute footage of The Division and
Nice.
didn't turn it back on. 3 episodes later, well, crap. So
Reminds
yeah,
me
things
of
like that. Good
when I
stuff.
started streaming, but that was a few years earlier. And then it was until the end of the stream that I noticed that I actually didn't have the game selected in OBS. So I'd basically been streaming a black screen for 4 hours.
Oh, me too. I did that too. I did that twice. Every time I started Tomb Raider and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, and both times I forgot to add the scene to OBS. Yep.
But you learn from that, and then you just move
Yep.
on, I suppose.
Exactly. I mean, that's one advantage of being super small is it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world. People are very, very understanding. You don't have trolls really. Well, unless you're Last Hatchery, and then you have jerks.
but actually, speaking of like, I've had my share of like audio issues and stuff, but for the longest period of time, I use Roxio game capture. I've been using it for like 2 years now, and for the most part, it's awesome. But I started recording videos, and every time it would do a loading screen in any game, the loading screen, like the black screen, would be stretched out for some reason, would be longer. So my audio would get all like, so I would record my audio and my game footage, and when I go to sync it, I'd have to sync it every single time at a loading screen because it would be off. And at the end of the video, like at the end, like a good 10 minutes would get cut out because of the loading screens. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Turns out that my game capture needed a patch for like months. But here I had just been going back and re-editing the audio and, chopping up the video and rendering it different ways. And I was spending hours on something that just needed a simple download. I was so mad.
Oh, was
Like-
this the Twitter thing that you posted? Like, was one of the first tweets I saw by you that commented on that? Yeah, you were having audio issues.
No, this was a couple of months before I started really getting on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
I had an issue with, I recorded Outlast. I do it with my cousin Jenna, and she got like shit-faced drunk, and we went to record, and my microphone must have become unplugged or something because my PC, the internal mic, took over and recorded 3 episodes. And so we recorded for hours, and when we got done, we went to listen to audio, and of course it was shit. And we like didn't have time to re-record. It was so bad. It was so horrible. We ended up going back and fixing the last two episodes, but one of my episodes on there has horrible audio, and it's my like it's as simple as my mic becoming unplugged or my game capture becoming unplugged. It's simple. Like I hate that this industry, when you're trying to make a video, it can be as simple as like your computer dying or something becoming unplugged that just ruins the whole entire thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gosh, that drives me nuts.
It's really you're like when you're actually editing your video, and especially when you're recording, it's really vulnerable to messing up. And I also had that
Yes.
with that's why I'm actually waiting for Fallout 4. It has like a new survival update that's gonna come out soon, and that you need to eat and drink and stuff like that. So it makes the game harder. I'm waiting for that before that comes out to actually make a run through it again, because I just really want to do like a sort of remaster of my current one, because the current one still has like a lot of I wouldn't say audio mistakes, but it's mostly like video mistakes. Like for example, I have like a 50-minute video, and 30 minutes in, the quality suddenly like drops like a lot, and then 2 minutes later it goes back to normal, and it just keeps happening. Like those small things that just bug you because like, oh, I could have fixed that, but then but you already
You know,
uploaded it.
do you ever feel like there's stuff that other people may never notice, but like it to you, it's like a sore thumb. It sticks out, and like you lose sleep over it, and you can't stop thinking about it.
Yep.
Like
All the time.
like we are our harshest critics when it comes to our channels. Like I feel
Absolutely.
like we as YouTubers, especially smaller channels, we are so hard on ourselves. I know, like, I was editing a video of a series I haven't released yet, but like episode 5, I have 7 episodes of this game, and episode 5, for some reason, my game capture decided to be all glitchy. So like it literally looks like there's like actual glitches on the screen, and I just decided, instead of going back and re-recording, I just edited around it. And it's really obvious to me because the glitches only happen for like even like half a second. So I would edit it out, and I can see where I edit it, but a lot of people aren't going to be able to tell. So, but like I can tell. And if I can tell, someone else is going to tell. And what
And
if
then
they point it
comment.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what if someone says it? What if it just like ruins me? And it's not going to. It's okay to make mistakes. But I'm so hard on myself when it comes to my channel. I am constantly trying. I think that's another thing that we do as YouTubers. We are always trying to like one up our last video. We're always trying to improve and figure out ways to get, more views and more subscribers, and, to better ourselves and to learn. We're always learning, and it's so exhausting. Like,
Yep.
And it's also like when I'm making a video, I'm always like, would I actually watch this? Like, if I was the viewer, would I actually like completely watch this video or not? And sometimes I'm like, no, I wouldn't, because this part is really boring. I kind of cut that part out. So it's like a lot of walking and stuff like that where nothing happens. I'm just like, yeah, okay, that part can go, that part can go, and then your video becomes much shorter. But then you're kind of wondering, like, does it still make sense? Like the video in general.
Yeah,
Like, does it still
if you
have
go
context?
if you go through 5 different rooms, but you cut out 3 of them, they might know. Wait, how'd you get from here to there? I'm so confused. I'm
Yeah,
so lost.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of
right.
thing, especially for Let's Plays, because there's different styles of doing it. There's the PewDiePie style, which is heavily edited. And it's really more about the entertainment. And then there's people like Christopher Odd, which are mostly unedited, and it's really about the commentator and like their engagement with you, and so they try to show you everything there is. And so trying to find the fine line between the two of them, for me anyways, that I'm not as experienced, I'm not as used to it, finding the balance between, okay, I think here I'm putting people to sleep, whereas here I'm being exciting, and yeah, how do I cut it together so it's still a really good viewing experience?
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
I think one of the things that we like have to be able to do when it comes to Let's Players, we have to be able to enjoy our own content, and we make decisions based on what we like.
Mm-hmm.
So like you don't want to like, because like obviously you want people to like your content and stuff, but you want to like what you're doing. And God knows we have to, first we make the video, we shoot it, then we have to like sync and edit, and we watch that over and over, and you have to still be able to upload it and watch it and enjoy it yourself. You have to like what you're doing. And so I have a lot of friends in the YouTube community, and we'll always communicate with each other and ask, what do you think I should do here? What do you think I should do here? And I always tell everyone, you do like there's some stuff it's okay to ask for opinions and stuff, but a lot of times the answer I always give is what would you want to watch? If you went on YouTube right now and you didn't know yourself and you stumbled across this video, would you want to watch that part, or would you have rather it be edited out? That's I always try to you because you want to enjoy what you're doing. You
Yeah.
want to like your videos. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are always trying to please everyone else except themselves. And I feel like those are the ones that burn out. You have to like what you make. You have to like your own videos.
But the thing is, though, for example, this is more specific to challenge runs. I want to show that like everything I'm doing is legitimate. There's no glitching, there's no whatever, there's no like exploiting the game in any way.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're like, sometimes like you cut this part out, but then if you cut that part out, you're like, wait a second. If I cut this part out, they won't know that I've done it. They'll think that I've been, that I've done it like fake and stuff like that. For example, I was talking to a friend of mine, and after a certain part, I really needed my character to level up, and I need to go up like 3 levels to actually continue the game. And then my friend said like, I know you use no weapons and armor, but can't you just go off screen, get a sniper rifle, and then like kill a lot of high level enemies? And I was like, no, because that ruins the
That's
integrity of the run.
cheating.
Yeah, that's
Right.
cheating.
That
But
you're
the
kind of
thing is,
lying to your viewers.
yeah, exactly. And like really didn't want to do that, so I didn't. But then after a certain while, you do start knowing like, shit, what should be kept in the video and what can go out, like because I still want them. I don't want them to have any doubt of what I'm doing is legitimate.
Right. I totally understand. I kind of regret, I do Life is Strange on my channel, and I kind of regret cropping down the individual because there's 5 episodes in the game. And I
Mhm.
kind of wish I had just left the episodes together because I've cropped them down into like 20, 30, 40-minute videos because they're so long and there's so much in that game. Every little detail is important. And that's why I did that, because I knew editing that series was going to be like a bitch. I knew that editing that I was going to have to leave most of it. And that's the thing that sucks, is trying to figure out, do I leave this, don't I, is this important to the storyline, especially if you're doing a blind run, if you're like, is this going to be important later on? There's
Oh,
might be something you edit out that later on you're like, crap, I shouldn't have edited that out.
yeah, it's like such a minuscule thing, and then later on it becomes a huge plot point, and then it's not actually in your video, and you just feel like, oh, well, crap.
Exactly.
Yeah, me, I try to edit out parts where I get exceptionally frustrated, which is why Unravel's probably my most edited series. I mean, I was watching Lass's video on Unravel, and we pretty much thought the exact same thing, where this game is really making me or us question our intelligence. And like, oh my god, it's a great game, but I get stuck so easily, and I don't stop the recording for until I've tried just about everything I can think of, and then I pause, go to YouTube, get filled up with shame, go back in, explain, okay, well, YouTube says to do this. I'm so sorry, guys. Please forgive me.
And
Yeah.
that's also something I have like sort of problems with. Of course, you want to make your own choices and decide on what you want, but you'll always get influenced by what your viewers want. Like, there's no way that won't happen. So there's sometimes you have like a certain plan in your head, like, all right, later on I'll do this in this game, and then this will happen. But then your comments say like, hey, why don't you do this? That'll be really awesome if you did. I'm like, oh, I want to please you, I want to do that just because you commented
Yes.
on it. But then at the same time, like, is it actually a smart thing to do or not?
Yeah. Well, luckily, I mean, I'm only at 30, so I don't have many comments except for Darman X. He's my number one fan.
Oh,
Uh,
I love Darman.
yeah, that guy is so great. What a nice
Yeah,
guy. And so with a lot of my subs are also friends.
hmm
I think a few of them are subs mostly just for support. Some of them do watch it, but they don't necessarily leave comments. They just they enjoy me because we know each other very well. So I don't get that the unbiased opinions. I don't get other people saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that," and that's actually something that I'm really excited for. I can't wait to actually have an audience that's big enough and that's passionate enough to help me decide what to do and to tell me what they want to see. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you guys are right. It's the viewers that are gonna make the channel successful. I just need
yeah.
viewers.
When
It's
you
really... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You spoke first.
No,
Aw,
like
you guys are so
mine is
Canadian.
Mine is a different. Like, I'm changing the subject, so it's better if you go first.
Oh, I think I was gonna change the subject. It's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you, well, I guess I was kind of on subject. When you, because I mean, I'm not big at all. I've got 300 and something subscribers,
That's
but
massive to
the
me.
more, the more, the grass is always greener. I'll tell you that. Like
Yeah.
no matter how many people you have, that number, you'll always go look at it. You'll always, and every subscriber you get, you do a little happy dance, and everyone you
Yeah.
lose, you kind of like cry a little bit. You're like,
Like,
no, come back. What did I do wrong?
Unless you're PewDiePie
But
and you're literally number one.
yeah, unless you're, because even like even if you had 1 million subscribers, you're not gonna care. Those few people that come and go, to you won't matter. But like I love every single one of my subscribers. I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe people love my stuff. But when you make videos and stuff, and once you've been at it for a while, and I mean I don't have all this huge experience. I did it for a couple months in 2014, and now I'm just picking it back up. But you kind of it's almost like you anticipate what people are going to want to watch, and it's newer games or games that aren't covered very often. And so when I started my channel, I kind of played whatever I wanted to play, and now I've kind of been looking into other games that, like, yeah, I want to play but that people might enjoy, like Unravel, and I have a few other ones I'm gonna come up with. And I have so much stuff backlogged right now. I'm like a month and a half ahead of schedule on almost everything. And
Wow.
so like people comment on stuff. I just got a comment yesterday. Someone said, I finished Outlast, and they were like, wow, please play more horror games. And I can tell them, yeah, well, I've got Whistleblower coming out next week. Like I guess what? You're going to get your horror games. So like you kind of anticipate that. Like people, it's really nice to be able to tell people, hey, I've already got that coming to you.
Yeah, that's also that stopped me from like covering certain games. To be honest, is because like I do challenge runs and stuff like that, and then after a while I'm like, I do kind of want to make this video on this game, but would my audience actually watch that? I mean, like if I suddenly had a channel with like challenge runs and this guy just plays a normal game, I'd be like, well, like I can watch others. I can watch like Markiplier or PewDiePie play that. Why would I watch you? That's kind of stops me from doing like normal runs of games because
Yeah.
I just want to do something unique that hasn't been done before. So they have to come to me to actually watch it. As dumb as that sounds, but yeah,
I think you should do what you want to do on your channel, and that's you're gonna do whatever you want to do, and you know what's best for you. But you can do, and everyone has different schedules and can take on a certain workload. But you can do those runs and play games, and do a mixture of both. Or maybe the runs are like that's what you want, like maybe
yeah,
those, at like hard runs are really for you. So I say, whatever you feel is best. You know your channel better than anyone else, and at the end of the day you make the decisions and stuff. I know
that's
I've been trying to like get out of my little box, and it's not going very good, but I'm trying to do new things and come up with new games, and to be more original. That's the hard thing on YouTube, is being original.
Yeah,
exactly.
especially when I mean for Dark Souls 3, I remember the community the smaller Let's Play community was pretty upset because Namco Bandai gave a lot of early copies to bigger Let's Players, meaning that smaller people, by the time the game released, no one would want to watch them or find them because they already have the big guys that had a few weeks lead. And so that was a big challenge that people were facing is, okay, well, Dark Souls 3 is coming out. All the big channels already have their content. How am I going to compete with that? How am I going to get seen? And
And
yeah, it's pretty tough.
well, my answer to that is do something unique. Like
Yeah, get good.
yeah,
That's
get
eternal
good.
advice for Dark Souls. The eternal advice for YouTube.
Like
Oh man, poor Damien, darn it. He's watching him play Dark Souls 3 is like the highlight of my day now. It is so entertaining to watch this guy have
it's like
no idea
oh
what's going on.
I know it's like hilarious when you like watch someone new play Dark Souls and like, oh, you're adorable. You don't even know what that
Yeah,
does.
exactly. Okay, so last year one of my favorite games on the PS4 was Bloodborne. It's sort of like a spiritual successor to Dark Souls. It was a very gothic horror kind of game.
Yeah.
Super super fun. And there's this guy. It was a channel called D's Nuts Gaming. Yeah, that's the name. And it's a very very famous Bloodborne series. I think the whole community knows it and loves it because the title is Dark Souls Virgin plays Bloodborne. Now this is a guy that never touched the series, has no idea what's going on, and he's just the embodiment of just this guy that's scared of everything, has no idea what's going on, and oh, it's great to watch. I think I might actually leave a link. I'm gonna leave a lot of links in the description. Actually, we talked about a lot of stuff. So yeah, he just finished the Bloodborne series, gave it a good finale.
But I think that's really depends on the personality
Yeah,
because some people when they play Dark Souls, they get extremely angry, and I really like watching people like that because like if you get extremely angry, some people love to see other people like rage about games and stuff, and I'm just like, like it's just a game, like
yeah, it's
take it
chill.
easy.
Yeah, that's why I edit like when I try to leave it. I cut it when I'm simmering, like when I'm on the edge and I'm about to just like flip my shit, destroy my room, Hulk out. Then I'll put a cut, usually, or an
Yeah.
unravel. It's just okay. It's been 50 hours. I have no idea how to put this thread of yarn onto that anchor and drag the Coke can across. And what am I doing with my life? I'm going to the bar. Bye. So yeah, people that get angry. Some people can do it well though. I mean, I'm not PewDiePie's biggest fan, but I can see why a lot of people would like his style of quote unquote raging and yelling and screaming because it is a very, I think visceral might be a decent word to describe it. It's a very visceral thing to watch him play these games, and to see
Yeah.
him get
Right.
so emotional and just get super hyped and energetic and excited. So it is entertaining to see from that perspective. But yeah, when
But
someone gets just bitter, salty, angry, and raging, yeah, you're right. I'll probably skip ahead.
that's probably because like when I look at Let's Plays, if I had to define Let's Plays in like two categories, it would be like loud ones. And I mean loud as in like really, like really bursting with energy, like PewDiePie and I don't know, like a lot of those. And that's completely fine. That's just really not my type of humor. But like if you like that, enjoy that, then go ahead. You do you. That's completely
Hmm.
fine with me. And you also have these more calm channels who go over the game a bit more, and I think they're a bit less about themselves and a bit more about the channel. I mean, about the game that they're playing. I think that's the bigger difference. Is like with those other commentators, they're really like, yeah, whoa, like they're like really more about themselves and the game and how they're playing it,
Yeah,
and the other ones really like just trying to do their best to do the game justice and how fun it is and how they're
I
progressing through it.
I feel like when it comes to that, when you have someone with like a really strong personality and like a really strong voice, the people who subscribe are going to want to be there for that person, not necessarily for the games. And it's the people who are soft
yeah,
spoken and who are a lot calmer and stuff. People want to subscribe for the games and for the videos and stuff, not just like for the person. And so I think that's like the difference and stuff because everyone is always saying like you want people to like you and your stuff. And it's hard you've got to find that like you got to find it within yourself if you're going to be a lot more because I know I'm one of those I get angry and I rage and stuff but I'm really calm. I've been told like my voice is really good for my let's plays but I have to figure out my personality. Like I have to shine through really really well if I'm going to get someone to click that subscribe
I
button,
feel you.
you
For
know.
me, my
Yeah.
inspiration for Let's Plays is Christopher Odd, who I recently found out I also lives in the same city as me.
Oh
Um,
nice.
so he's a guy, again, it's all relative, but a relatively big or small channel. He's got about 180,000 subscribers now. And when I started watching him, I think it was last year when Bloodborne came out, actually. That's how I discovered him. And he was at maybe 100,000. So he's been growing a lot. And his style it's exactly what we're describing. He's very calm. He talks about the game. He laughs when things are funny, and if he dies, he'll typically just laugh it off, say it was just a funny death, and he's just super chill and down to earth. And he's very active on social media. He engages with fans a lot. He started playing XCOM 2, which is a strategy game, and you have your
Yeah.
own team of soldiers, and you
I
can.
was I
Sorry,
was
yeah,
actually thinking of playing XCOM 2 as well, and on harder difficulty, and then you have your own like little crew that you can name and stuff, right? So I named them my
exactly. Yeah.
subscribers after them. That's what I
Yeah.
was going to plan.
And so
Oh,
in order
that's
to
cool.
bring in the audience, he asked his viewers, "Hey, why don't you submit your soldiers, and I'll put them in the game, and we can hope that they ended up on the squad, the team." So it was pretty cool. So he's a really cool guy. He's sort of I guess my role model for how to compose myself and how to act and behave during a let's play, until I die 20 times and flip my shit.
Then I think that's another really big distinction that you can make between Let's Players. There's these people that only focus on the games themselves. There's others that also really focus on their lives and on their personality. For example, if someone's playing Minecraft, instead of talking about how he's mining, he's going like, "So yeah, my channel's blowing up, and yeah, my sister
Yeah.
recently got married and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like it's a really different type of Let's Playing."
Yeah, it's good to know. Yeah, I try to. I have a hard time. I'm still getting used to that. I'm still getting used to engaging the audience with something other than the game right now, which is why That's one of the main reasons I started the vlog every Friday, just so I can talk about my life. But occasionally I bring in a few things. Like if I see something that reminds me of a story, or reminds me of a person, a thing, then I'll bring it up. But yeah, I definitely think it's cool. I'd like to know more about the person I'm watching. So that's just me, anyways.
I respect people who do that, but the thing with vlogs and stuff with me is like if I try to do something like that, my life isn't that interesting really. That you need like a weekly update of it. It's
Hey,
mostly
you
the same.
did. You're the one who released the video, though. Where you had said someone in the comments asked to see your face, and you released that like troll video where you took off the mask, and then it was just your little red face over
Yeah.
it. I was like, "What the hell?" I was so intrigued. I was like, "Oh, I get to see his face," and then I honestly didn't see it coming. Like I am usually not that gullible, but when it happened, I was like, I wish I could like take a picture and show you my face. I was so upset. I was like, really? Really? I spent like a 30-second video and I was like, oh, I get to see what he looks like. No, I don't. Never mind.
I need to see
I
this
fell,
video.
Fun
I
fact:
fell for it.
it's my most disliked video today.
I think I upvoted it, but I may have disliked it because I was like, you stinker. But I'm pretty sure I upvoted it because I was like, all right, that's clever. I remember thinking it was like a good way to trick people. And if you got me, you probably got other people.
What I wanted to do for April 1st as well, but I got really busy, is you guys ever played Mass Effect?
Yep.
Any of the games?
Oh,
Love it.
yes.
I wanted to do a Mass Effect, like where it started with like a Mass Effect veteran run, like the highest difficulty, and then permadeath and stuff like that. And it started with Mass Effect 2. But story-wise, in Mass Effect 2, you die immediately. Like you die in a ship explosion. So I go like,
Right.
all right, guys, let's do this. Let's play. And then like I die in the intro. I'm like, all right, well, guys, I tried. Well,
I actually had
That's clever. I really like that.
I had this idea for Mass Effect, just the whole game series, where I was gonna create like the ugliest character I could and just come up with like a stupid voice and go through the game making all of like the worst decisions and like playing up the character being an idiot and like voicing the character like outside of the actual like dialogue in the game and just being a total like airhead and like editing it so it would be really funny. But like that's so outside of what I usually do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have all these ideas that I want to incorporate, but then I kind of chicken out, you know,
Yeah, me
or
too.
I'm like, oh, I have so many things I want to do and so much I want to tackle, but there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, and like, what if it isn't as good as I think it'll be?
There's been
Especially.
there's been a couple of times where I've recorded videos and it was I scrapped it. I was like, what the hell was I thinking?
Have you started streaming? Because I know Red and I, we were he was streaming not this past Sunday, the Sunday before that. We were all watching Shovel Knight and it was super fun. We were all getting together.
Spelunky, actually.
It was what? Oh yeah, Spelunky. Yeah. Wait, who's doing Shovel Knight?
I think that was no, not Darman. No, that was before that. I think.
Yeah. Oh or no, I was watching someone else play Shovel Knight.
Huh.
Oh, no, I was watching Liquid. Yeah, he was. I was watching Let's Play right after. Anyway, yeah, you were doing Spelunky. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
And so we were having a blast there, and that's the kind of thing like I really want to start streaming, but I'm still a bit too chicken to do that because you guys like when I flustered the intro for this podcast, imagine live it's gonna be super.
Oh,
can't-
you're fine.
Yeah.
You can't edit
I-
on the spot.
I am really bad with technology, which is one of the things you have to be really, really good with when you're making videos. And so I've got my game capture down, but streaming with it's not like meant for streaming. It's really crappy quality. And so I got OBS and I'm still learning how to use OBS. And I do Xbox games, so I would have to like hook up my Xbox to my computer to my Xbox to my television to my PC and then stream that. It's just a pain. But Xbox One allows you to stream to Twitch with an app. Like all I have to do is open the app and click stream, and it automatically streams whatever I'm doing on Xbox to Twitch. And so, as much as I would prefer to stream to YouTube, when I do stream, I play like Halo, and I've done Unravel when I was doing achievement hunting to Twitch, and then I just have my YouTube linked on there. And when I have new people who start visiting with me, I'm like, hey, you should go check out that YouTube channel that I care about way more than the Switch channel.
Yeah,
It works.
Got it on that.
that's with me as well with open broadcast software. In the beginning, like I didn't know how to do recording settings, and I messed with it for like an hour or so. And then
Yeah.
when I started recording, I was like, "All right, this is good. Don't fuck with it. This is good." and then you have to switch over to streaming, and I'm like sweating. I'm like, "Oh God."
I recorded an entire game, like an hour-long game, actually with Shelter 2, and I had recorded the whole thing using OBS, and it told me it was going great. It looked great in the little preview box, and when I went to open it up, it was super laggy. I don't think my computer can handle OBS. I don't think it's good for OBS. So I went back and I redid it with my game capture kit. Everything went super smoothly. So OBS is not my friend right now.
Oh.
But I'm working on it.
I learned a few lessons about OBS because before I had my games installed on one hard drive and I was recording to the same hard drive, which is apparently very bad and it causes lags in the videos. So I got a new hard drive where I store all the videos and all the recordings go straight there. And since then, the frame rate of the videos has gone up, so that could be something to look at. I mean, it helps me. So.
I still mess up every now and again though, because I wanted to up the quality a bit, so I was like, all right, let's put on a higher bit rate. Then I accidentally did a few zeros too many. Then I played like a half an hour of Worms Armageddon, which is a game from 1999. And I stopped recording with 270 gigs, and it slowed down my computer. So I had to.
Holy small.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
I was like, all right, I might have messed up the recording a little bit.
Just a little bit. You challenged Darman to one-on-one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It was his birthday, so I bought it for him.
Nice. I'm gonna ship him some coffee for his wedding.
No.
Oh, he's getting married?
Yeah.
He's engaged.
I don't know you because I'm kind of getting to know all of you guys, and I feel like you guys all know each other. But I honestly, based on Darman and like the way he sounds and the stuff I've seen, he looks so little. Like he looks so young.
He's adorable. I can't wait
How
for him
old
to
is
listen
he?
to the. He's I think a year older than me. He's 24.
All right, Les, let's play a little game then. How old do you think Paradox is?
Oh God. Well, he just told me he's 23.
How old do you think I am?
You
19.
26 or 27?
19.
You're
Oh.
19?
Oh,
Yeah.
what a guess!
How old am I?
I've always heard that
38?
with women, you're supposed to say 27, but you can never go wrong with 27.
What did you say, Paradox?
Nothing.
38?
No, God, so rude. No, I said
Yeah, how are the kids doing?
You're recording this. You're recording this, and I get to go back unless you edit this out.
Yeah, it's not live. Joke's on you.
I
have no
am
idea.
22 years old.
Oh, I honestly thought you were older because you like talked about your work and working in a what's it called, a caring home. Like English is my third language, so bear with me here.
Your English is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Thanks.
Baller accent too. Love it.
English is my first language, and I'm horrible at it.
What else do you speak?
Yeah. All right. She only speaks one language. Yeah.
Oh, that was the joke? Oh, okay. Well,
No.
it flew over my head. If you listen closely, you can actually hear the whoosh.
No, but I also speak Turkish and Dutch. So.
Oh,
Sweet.
nice.
I speak French.
Oh, me too. Well, not well.
The
It's
cool
it's
thing about
technically my
languages.
huh?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's technically my first language. I would speak it at home growing up, but I grew up in Florida, so English is my dominant language.
Oh.
And as such, I can't really read and write well in French because I only learned how to read and write when we moved back to Canada, and I learned it in high school. But it's a cool language. I wish I took it more seriously when I was younger.
Yeah, same. I had it for like 2 years, but I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know anything anymore.
Omelette au fromage.
I was gonna ask you guys, because I'm pretty sure Red Him is on there, but I don't. Maybe I am friends with you on there, Paradox. Are you guys using Mitomo?
No, I am avoiding it like the plague.
Yes, I'm using it, but I only use it to like screw around on it.
I hate it so much. It's
Yeah.
so stupid, but
Yeah.
I love it.
Darwin told me about it, and I don't know, I facepalmed so hard. I couldn't understand what's the point of it. He was like, "Oh, but it's like you can talk to a bunch of people at the same time, like short bursts." Like that
I
sounds
will say
exactly like
this.
Twitter.
I will say this, and this might sell you on it. Some of the questions will ask you like, "What are you doing right now?" And I'll say like, "Oh, I just recorded videos for my YouTube channel. You should go check it out." Or like, I'll like put stuff on there. I've gained subscribers
Oh, okay.
from Mitomo
You had me
who
at
have
subscribers.
who flat out told me, "Hey, I found you through Mitomo. How cool is that?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, no way!"
Mitomo. All
I only
right.
use it to.
Install. Time to catch. Oh, damn it! I need to. My phone. It keeps thinking I restart my phone, and I need to put in my password all over again.
I only use it to
Oh.
screw around
First
with
world
pictures.
problems. Hmm?
Like you can make like certain scenes in Mutomo. That's all I use it for, really. Like I just posted
Yes.
a link, so I don't know if you can see that, but it's like I have to earn money or something, and then I just had to like screw around with it a little bit. That's all,
Select
really.
My country.
I answer some of the questions like
Canada.
truthfully, and it's mostly if I'm bored, but I try to be funny with it. And I try to make funny answers, and like my greetings are funny so that people will think, "Wow, she's really funny. Her YouTube must be amazing."
Oh
Yeah.
god, it's my
it's-
Nintendo account. I'll do it after.
Like
Okay.
mine's really clingy because like when he comes in, it's like I love you now, and then when he leaves, it's like don't leave me.
Oh god.
I
What am I
don't
getting
remember
myself
exactly, but my goodbye is the demons are leaving my body.
Oh yeah, no. My goodbye was I will miss you like a flower misses the sun.
Oh, cool. It gave me an error. Oh, there we go. It's done. Okay.
It
download.
takes a while to download.
Yeah.
It took me like an hour and a half to download this stupid app, and I stayed awake the whole time watching it download. I was so intrigued when it like came out, and
Also, it's hell on your
I-
battery.
regret it so much.
Hey, Paradox.
It's
where's the
so
new
hard on
podcast
your
episode?
battery.
Oh, I don't know. I'm too busy playing Mitomo. Bye.
You can like control like the sound of your voice so you can make it ridiculous, and you can dress your little character so stupid. Okay, so my greeting is who the hell let you in? When I go to someone's house, my greeting is give me all of your money. And when I tell them to leave, it's oh boo you whore. And then the goodbye is the
I haven't
demons are
played it
leaving my
in
body.
ages because after a while I was like just chilling, just like sitting down and playing it. And I really wanted to get that ninja sword, so you do that stupid little game where you let your friends fall
Yes!
down.
Fuck those games.
Yeah, and after a certain while, I was like, I am wasting my fucking life on this, and then I just quit, and I was like, I should quit now. I just put my phone away. Yeah,
I
So,
hate
like, yeah, I hate it too.
it, but I keep playing it.
Oh man.
I hate it, but I'm like, if I'm not on today, I won't get the daily bonus.
You know what you guys sound like? Drug addict. Oh, I hate cocaine, but I
Hey.
can't stop doing it.
Hey, I can quit whenever I want.
Yeah, I can.
Just don't want to.
All right. Well, it's installed. I'm gonna check it out after.
That's-
April 14th, 2016. The death of my free will.
There you go.
Oh well.
It actually reminds me of something interesting. I read this article the other day. It said that some people wanted Dark Souls 3 to have a difficulty setting. That's mainly because they wanted it to be more inclusive. And I was like, isn't the fact that it's difficult the point of the entire game. Well, it's
Yeah.
not like the point because there's like tons of other stuff to do as well. But it's like the challenge. That's the main reason I play it. I just want to have fun. It's like a really good combat system. So I just want to challenge myself. And then some people are like, yeah, but we never get to experience the story and all of that because we suck. And I'm like, well, yeah,
Get
that's the
good.
point of games.
That's
I
it.
mean,
Get good.
I will admit though that the games are like the only medium in where part of the content can get locked away if you are not good enough. Like books
Eh.
and stuff that don't do that. If like no book after 5 chapters goes like, all right, so give me 4 sentences that actually summarize the story up until this point. And if you don't, you're like, all right, yeah,
Solve
too
this
bad.
math equation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was okay. So one thing I love about the Dark Souls game that I have to mention because it happened to me last night, the last episode I recorded, I was wandering around and do you know anything about the series?
No, I know a bunch of people want me to play it because noobs are really bad at it and they want to
Exactly.
laugh.
So that is true. So to
Give
add
me a
on
quick
that, one of the
summary.
things that you can do in the game is you can leave notes for other people, and so anyone around the world will see that note. So you can be very helpful. Like say, "Oh, there's a treasure chest up ahead," or you can be nefarious and say, "Oh, safe area ahead. Psych, there's a boss." So I'm
Or
wandering
actually,
around.
like jump. Oh, safe jump here, and then you jump down and you fall off a cliff.
Yeah, classic Dark Souls community. So I'm wandering around this level, the high wall of Lothric, and I'm at this part. You know the part after the plaza with the big guy.
Yeah.
There's the steps going up with the two knights, and then there's a small staircase to the left. So there's a note. It said, "Oh, great thing lies ahead." And I see this person with their back to me. I'm like, "Oh, okay, sweet. It's got to be an NPC." No, it was this hilariously difficult knight, like a super knight, who shined his sword. I don't know, he put some sort of enchantment on me and then just stabbed me to death. One shot.
Yeah, I
I
tried to do
was
that a few times without armor and weapons. It didn't work.
Oh my! I was so angry at first, but then I went back and I rated the note good because, like, good job. You got me. You got me.
What the thing is with Dark Souls. Last, just a quick summary is souls are like the main currency of the game to buy stuff, but also to level up.
Oh,
And
cool.
if you die, you need to go back to the point you were, because that's where you left all your souls. But if you die before you actually get back to that point, you lose all your souls from that point on. So that's really hard.
I've heard the game is ridiculously hard and
No,
I give up really easily.
It drinks your
it's not.
tears.
It's not hard. Like some people say, like Dark Souls is super hard. I don't necessarily agree with that. It's mainly the fact that it punishes you for making a mistake, but it's fair.
Exactly.
And like it's not necessarily hard. You just need to know when to do certain things. You need to know when to block. You need to know when to roll and stuff like that. And when you get that stuff down and you're like just paying attention, just doing it step by step, then it really isn't all that difficult. It kind of punishes you for being reckless.
Yep.
Okay.
I would argue that the games aren't mechanically difficult. Like a game like Spelunky, Shovel Knight, Enter the Gungeon, those games I would struggle with because I'm not that mechanically good at that. But with games like Dark Souls, the actual combat, the actual movement, using things, it's not too difficult. It's just, yeah, you gotta take your time. You gotta study every enemy, size them up before you engage, see what they can do, and find your moment to strike. And if you die, well, you know not to make that mistake again. So it's like if you don't die the same way twice, you're becoming a better player, and that's what it encourages you to do. Like it's okay to die. It's as long as you learn from it.
Speaking about funny messages, one in Dark Souls 2 that made me laugh quite a bit was like one next to a skeleton that had like his hands on the wall and then like his like ear to it, and then the message itself said, "Listen, skeleton," and it made me really laugh because of how stupid it was. And of like, and then it's every time there was like a skeleton in a weird pose, it said like, "Oh, skeleton," and it just
Yeah.
kind of made me like, "Oh, skeleton, what am I gonna do with you?" Like it's
That
just
kind
like,
of
so silly.
That reminds me of like how Bethesda in the Fallout series puts like skeletons and teddy bears in like provocative
Uh,
scenes and like funny poses, and I live for that. Every time I find those I get really excited because they just took that extra little step to go that far to put like the one in the bathtub with the toaster, or the teddy bears doing operation on a table. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, that sounds
so
great.
in Dark Souls 1, a very famous funny message that a ton of people do is there's this huge woman, and she's like standing or like sitting on a throne, And then how should I say this? She's gifted.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
mean,
she's endowed.
yeah. And the treasure, like you only get a set amount of words that you can use, so you can't just write down like "ha ha die" or something like that. You get like like a loophole. I mean, like a shortcut ahead or something like that. And every single message was "amazing chest ahead."
Yeah,
I
that's
was like, yeah, guys, I get it. You're funny. Ha ha ha.
yeah,
That's clever.
that's the community in a nutshell. Yeah.
Nice.
Also, speaking about Dark Souls, one thing I really love about it is the multiplayer aspect,
Mm-hmm.
which I haven't really seen in any other game. What basically happens is before you have like a giant boss, you can summon people who leave their summon signs down, and then if you summon them, they basically come into your world and they help you out. But on that same note, you also have people who can invade your world as a red phantom, and they try to hunt you down, try to kill you.
Yep. I've seen so many great videos though of a lot of times you can find the armor pieces of a certain enemy type. So in Dark Souls 2, there's a very generic looking zombie like thing wearing armor, and you can collect all the pieces of the armor, and when you die you actually look like them. So there was a guy, he would get invaded constantly, and he would just kill one of these zombies, take its place, and just wait. And people would wander around the map, wondering, like, where is this guy that I'm trying to kill? Where is he? And he
I've
would
seen that.
taunt them. There's an item you can throw, because you can't speak. There's no
Voice chat.
voice chatting in the game. So he would throw his item. It would just make a hello sound, and just to taunt people because they can hear it. And there's like, where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? What's going
Yeah.
on? And they keep running past him. Oh man, it was great.
But like the balance in it is also really good again because, for example, if you get invaded, you can heal, but your enemy can't. Well, what your enemy can do is they don't. None of the enemy mobs in the map fight him.
Yeah.
So what I used to do is like I was invaded someone, I fought them. Oh shit, I'm dying. I quick run to the enemy mobs, and then instead of a 1v1 that you're losing, it becomes like a 4 versus 1 that you can kind of win.
Yep. So good. There's no fighting fair in these games. I mean, you can. It is fun, but you do what you can to survive.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you really need to get that game. People would love watching you play. I'd watch it. I'm gonna watch Redem right after. No
It's not out
armor,
yet.
no weapon. Oh,
The first part is out, and it was at 950 views when we started. Let's just see how much it has at now.
oh my lord.
You know, I'm not really big into the medieval like sword wielding and like that kind of stuff. I love futuristic games. So like when everyone gets really like I might give Dark Souls a try, but it's really not up my alley where like Mass Effect, Halo,
Hmm.
even like Fallout it takes place, you know, like it's got the old like retro theme going for it, but like I love the futuristic aspect of it. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's-
love space games, anything to do with like future stuff. Sign aliens, sign me the hell up for it. But the other
Same,
stuff,
yeah.
like I can't really get big into like Skyrim, amazing game, super freaking amazing and wonderful. I couldn't really get into it. Like Dragon Age, it's I can't really get into those type. It's like a type. It's not medieval. Doesn't feel like it is qualified for those games, but that it's that type of game where I get kind of bored fast with them. I
What
love
about
future stuff.
All right, guys.
about
Great
modern
podcast
day?
episode. Thanks so much.
I don't say it's. I'm not saying it sucks. Everyone has different tastes.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Like, obviously, Dark Souls is a great franchise because look, Dark Souls 3 is coming out and everyone's shitting all over themselves. Like, it must be good. And I can't knock it. I can't knock it till I try it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say anything like is like oh like a bad game until I give it a try because I'm one of those people who, you know, I have to give something a try before I have an opinion on
If
it.
you like Victorian
just-
horror, though, you could try Bloodborne on PS4 if you have it.
It's more of a
no,
Victorian area, that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Very Xbox. Very, very Xbox. I actually used to play the PlayStation 2. I grew up with a PS2 and I played a little bit of the PlayStation. And then when the Xbox came out, my dad is an avid gamer. And so we had the Xbox, and then we all had 360s, and now we all have Xbox Ones. So
Aw,
it's
awesome.
once you kind of pick a console, you stick with it. And I don't think anything less of PlayStation at all. Like the PS2, I played the hell out of that thing, and my memory cards went through the washing machine, and they survived. So that was a great like console.
What were they doing in your pockets?
It's like, I'll show my friends how I beat this game.
I had to hide them so that other people wouldn't play my characters.
Oh
I don't know.
wow.
I was like 10 at the time. I don't know what my thought process was. I used to play the hell out of Jack and Daxter
Oh, so good.
and like those series.
Oh,
Oh, I miss those games. That was my first video game. Like that was my first like yeah, I played other stuff like Pong and like Mario here and there, but the first game I got into and I wanted to like, I was like I want to be part of the fandom, I guess you would call it. I loved it. Like I loved the characters. I wanted to like read books about them. Was Jack and Daxter. I played that game to death.
I really grew up with Metal Gear Solid and stuff on PS1 and PS2.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic series.
And a really fun thing that happened was like a long time ago. I think I was like 1 year old, and I have two older brothers, and they hired a PS1 together with Metal Gear Solid 1 on the from like a video store or something like that, because you could still do that back in the day. They only had it for 1 day. So what they did is they started playing, and they got through it pretty well. Like it went all right. And Metal Gear Solid 1 is notorious for having a torture section where like the main character gets tortured. And like for example, if you die in any other part of the game, it just says like exit or continue. And they didn't have memory cards. And in that specific torture section, if you die, there are no continues. And this is like halfway throughout the game.
Oh my god. I played Final Fantasy VII. My dad had that game, and then it was supposed to be for the PlayStation, but I was playing it on the PlayStation 2. I didn't have a PlayStation memory card. I got like 4 hours into the game and I died. If you don't save, you have to restart the whole game.
Jeez.
I was like, fuck that. What's the point?
But that's the thing. My brothers actually came to that like torture section, and that's where the game kind of diverges in endings. Because if you give up during the torture section, the main love interest dies. But if you manage to actually like survive throughout it, then well, if she doesn't die, you get a happier ending. So the first time they tried to actually save it, and like this was like midnight at the time, and they were still really young, and they needed to return it the first thing in the morning. So they try it and they fail. And they have to replay the entire game up until that point. And then the second time, the guy was like, "All right, the torture is starting now," and then they immediately pressed the submit button where they like gave up. I was like, "All right, the torture is starting now. I give up. You win. You don't have to do this."
Yep, that works.
They actually got to the final boss, but then they fell asleep, and my mom, what did she do? She accidentally pressed the energy button, or like the power button.
That is a carnal sin for gamers.
Oh, well.
Or when we were playing computer
Mom,
games
I
back
can't
in the 90s.
come. I can't pause it.
Mom, it's an online game. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it took... my parents finally understand that concept, though, which is great. Now that I'm 23. Yeah.
My mom flipped off the Nintendo.
So good. Oh man, we've been chatting for over an hour. That is awesome.
Nice.
You guys are super fun to chat with.
Yeah, you guys as well.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to start wrapping things up just because I've seen a few podcasts that go up to like an hour and 30 minutes, but those are usually either storytelling podcasts or the ones where they're teaching you something. It's like an actual lesson.
Right.
So fascinating. Maybe one day I'll be renowned enough that I want to listen to an hour and a half of this guy and his guests. But for now, I think an hour is good.
Well, lesson for today is okay. What's the lesson?
Don't press the power button when you play Metal Gear Solid 1. That's the best lesson.
Unless you have a memory card.
Snake.
And also, what was it? If you want to play actual good games, play on the PS4 because the Xbox doesn't have Bloodborne.
Yes, that is a good lesson. Take notes. I'm pretty sure the PS4 might be on sale soon. There's gonna be an Uncharted 4 bundle. Just
I don't know.
subliminal messaging.
Like, what happened to me really was I had the PS3 and I was like in love with it. Then somewhere in 2010, I did really well, and then I started saving up for my own gaming PC. And when I actually got that gaming PC, I never looked back. Like I never actually played on the PS3 ever again.
I know
Nice.
that feeling. I played The Witcher 3 at max settings, and oh my god, that
You
game.
know, you know what really annoys me though is because like you become so damn elitist. Because
PC Master Race.
no,
Yep.
exactly. Because like people are like, oh, once you go 60 FPS, 30 FPS, you can't go back to anymore and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, calm down, buddy. I'm still like I can still enjoy these games. And then watch my brother like play a game on the PS4. I'm like, oh, you can actually play this. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
When it comes to like console wars and like what's better, my opinion has always been if you're a true gamer, it doesn't matter what console or if it's PC, whatever. If they put you in a room and you're like, I freaking hate Xbox, and they put an Xbox in front of you, you're gonna play the Xbox. You're gonna play games. Like
Yeah,
everyone, if you're a real gamer and you love playing video games, it shouldn't matter what like console you're playing on. You're just gonna want to play the game.
exactly.
Exactly.
I was
But PC is
really,
the
I was
best.
really like, yeah, PS3 is way better than Xbox. When I was 12, but like I kind of grew out of that.
Yeah, Sam. I had a phase where like, oh, fanboyism, and then it's like, wait, I love games. Who cares where they're at? That's
Well,
what's
I think
the fun.
when it comes down to Xbox versus PlayStation, I think everyone, including Xbox gamers, knows that PlayStation has Xbox beat in a lot of areas. But like you use what you're comfortable with. People get comfortable, and I'm comfortable with Xbox. I couldn't use a PlayStation 4 to save my life right now. It would take me a couple hours to figure everything out. But I know that there's aspects that are better on the PlayStation 4 than there is on Xbox, and there are plus sides to Xbox than there is to PlayStation. And
Yep.
when it comes down to it, the arguments are all just like you're just arguing for your like baby. You're arguing for the thing that you love a lot and that you
I,
play on, and that's
I
the
think
only reason you're arguing.
I think it has a lot to do with like sunken cost fallacy, because like you pay a lot of money for your desired console, and then you want it to be better than the other one as well. So you kind of
Right.
argue with other people about it.
Yep.
But to be honest though, like I used to play a lot of PlayStation, and then I got an Xbox controller a while ago to play Dark Souls on, and
It's
there's
awesome.
honestly there's honestly no difference. Like I think the main difference is just exclusives at
The
this
X
point.
button.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah. But for me, I will admit though, for the current generation, I do prefer the Xbox One controller. Like I bought one specifically for the computer for all my gaming needs and everything. I definitely prefer it. I find it's a bit more ergonomic, but the PS4 controller does have cool stuff like the touchpad.
I think
Um,
I don't really see that
yeah,
much of a difference, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like
super
little
comfortable.
small personal preferences.
Yeah. So yes, Redum, where can people reach you?
Mostly on Twitter. That's where I'll be quickest in replying.
What's your
Also,
handle?
Reddit. Oh, just Reddit and then underscore.
All right.
I
All right.
know,
I'll be
very
including everything in
original.
the descriptions.
Yeah, okay. And otherwise, you can always send me a message on Reddit, I suppose, which is also Reddit, which is kind of awesome that I picked this name because no one actually picks it ever. So I got lucky in that.
Yeah. And if you had to spotlight a single video from your channel, which one would it be?
Um,
Would
I
you want
think
newcomers to watch the most?
okay, definitely not the face reveal. That will just piss people off.
Master trolling.
I think it'll be the last episode of my Fallout 4 playthrough with like no weapons and no armor. That's
Awesome.
mainly because the video settings and stuff all work together perfectly, and it's like one of the hardest parts that I actually managed to do.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm kind of proud about that one.
Sweet. I'm gonna link that. And do you want to share your Mitomo information too while we're at it?
Uh, sure, you can do that all you want, really.
All right. How does one share a Mitomo? Please enlighten
I
me.
don't I
I
don't
think you
think
have to
you
follow me on
can.
Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to be like followers on Twitter to do it. You can't just add people on it. It's
Oh,
stupid.
phone ring. Be right back.
Okay. Well, while he's talking on the phone, God, can't believe he didn't mute it. I have like 50 notifications. Ah,
Rude.
God. Oh my God. How about you? Where can people reach you, Laz?
Oh boy. Okay, I am on Facebook. If you search my handle, Last Hattery, I have a Facebook page. I have a Tumblr account, which is also lasthattery.tumblr.com, and I'm on Twitter. So you could just link my Twitter if you want. Everything's just Last Hattery, if whatever they want to prefer to find me on. Last Hattery on YouTube, Last Hattery on Reddit. No, it's not Last Hattery on Reddit. It's Jazz Nico. I'm a liar. I just
Almost
lied.
last hatteries all around.
Yeah, mostly. Twitter's fine though.
Wow,
Yeah,
that was the
Twitter's fine.
wrong moment to come back.
Ah,
Last
all
Hatter
good.
is all around.
All good, all good.
Okay.
Cool. So I wish Ratch were here, just because she could be making so many great stalking jokes right now and just heavy breathings. Oh, she's so entertaining. She's another one of the Let's Players that's part of our little.
Oh, I think
group.
I follow her.
Yeah.
And I think I've
The British
subscribed
girl?
her. Yes. Yes, I know
Yeah,
her.
she's so entertaining. Oh my lord. All right. But yes, on that note, thank you guys so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I hope, and actually, I don't hope. I'm going to have you guys back one day, probably really soon, because this is a lot of fun. We can bring in Darman, because everyone loves Darman. There should be a show about him and his baby face. And his pink room. Oh my god, his pink room. I'm going to put a picture of it.
I think it was his fiance's room.
So his fiance is wink wink.
Also, if you're truly wondering about what my face looks like, I'm pretty sure I made like a Snapchat filter photo of it.
Oh yeah, I added you on Snapchat. It's true.
So
I have Snapchat. You guys should add me on Snapchat.
that was really funny because I wanted to do like a wacky drawing of myself, but I forgot to do it, and I sent it to Darman. And then the first thing I get back on Twitter is like, "Oh my god, I just saw his face, guys."
You're not gonna believe it. Oh my god. What would be a good outro song for today's episode? I think the podcast should have an outro
Just-
song.
Take all of our music from our channels and mix it all together.
Just one big mashup. All right.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong? I have no idea how to use Audition for audio editing. It's gonna turn out terrifically. Oh man. I will see you all next time. Take care, guys.
Until next time.
Bye.
Take care.